Up next
on Your Pittsburgh. She wowed us on HBO's Boardwalk Empire. Now Pittsburgh's Margot Bingham is taking us back to where it all started.
It's the backstage.
And revealing what's next for her.
I said yes to it even though I was terrified.
we're heating things up.
Oh my gosh, it's like the sun.
As a group of us from KDKA learn how to turn glass into art.
That's beautiful.
Find out where you can give it a try.
Posh purses that are a big hit.
I'm Sarah Arbogast. Maybe you've noticed a celebrity carrying one of these purses. They're made by a local company, and I'll tell you where you can get one too.
There's these great stories about it.
What's in a name? From Mars to 84 to SNPJ. You'll be surprised by how some local towns got theirs.
And we're checking out a new restaurant with flavors that will transport you. Wow.
From KDKA TV, this is Your Pittsburgh.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Your Pittsburgh. I'm David Highfield.
And I'm Susan Copen. We're going to begin with someone from Pittsburgh who's both a singer and an actress. She's also the daughter of a former Steeler.
Margot Bingham's star is definitely on the rise. Fans of HBO already know her well, and now she's on the brink of reaching an even bigger audience.
Somebody loves me, I wonder who.
Captivating might be the best word to describe Margot Bingham singing in HBO's Boardwalk Empire. She was only supposed to be in a couple of episodes as a background singer, but that quickly became more.
So farewell, Daddy, someday you'll hear bad news.
Her role as a 1920s jazz club singer became an integral part of the show.
It was just like, here you go, here's a role of a lifetime. Thank you so much. Thanks for creating my career.
Boardwalk is now ended, but her career is charging ahead. She's leaving singing behind to play a detective in the upcoming ABC drama, The Family.
We ran a DNA test. It's him.
But yeah, no singing, no singing. She does not sing.
Not
she
a
does not
singing
sing.
detective.
She also joins the cast of the newest Barbershop movie, due out this spring.
I got this opportunity and I said yes to it even though I was terrified because I've never done comedy before.
So good to meet you too.
We caught up with her where she first learned how to conquer those performance fears at Kappa,
This is the backstage.
Pittsburgh's creative and performing arts school.
Is it fun to come back?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Margot Bingham grew up in Greentree. Her dad is Craig Bingham, who was a Steelers linebacker in the 80s. And as for her years at Kappa,
I've definitely had moments on the stage that I was terrified. For sure. Oh my goodness.
but it's also where she found her confidence.
She owned it. I mean, that stage was hers.
Kappa principal Melissa Perlman remembers how Margot stood out on stage in this performance of Aida.
A passion, a drive, a determination that you see in a lot of young people, but that spark in her was different.
She attended Point Park University for 2 years before leaving for New York City. She spent her 21st birthday touring with singer Jason Mraz. She was cast in the off-Broadway revival of Rent, and she put out albums.
Blue sky's been shining down on me.
But it's her jazz singing on Boardwalk that rocketed her to another level.
Sometimes I'll be on the subway and people will kind of do a double take and they'll be like, yeah, Boardwalk.
When she comes back to the Berg, she says her favorite thing is...
It's honestly sleeping in my bed. It feels so good. It's so lame, but it's so, I sleep like no other when I'm home.
Speaking of home, she says there's no place like it.
Always a Pittsburgher, for sure. Yeah, this is my home.
And she says that'll be true no matter how far her talent takes her.
Maybe it's you.
And such a great voice.
She is amazing, and I have to say it was so much fun interviewing her. I had just met her, of course, but it was like talking to someone that I have known for years. She's very unaffected by the success, very grounded. She credits her parents for that, and also being from Pittsburgh.
So talented. All right, now 2 more talented women, Pittsburghers who are taking the fashion world by storm.
Yeah, we love telling you about startup companies, and this one is unusual. The 2 women behind it weren't born here. In fact, they weren't even born in this country, but they've started a business here.
That's right, and what they make is attracting the attention of some celebrities. Sarah Arbogast is here to let us in on this. Do tell.
Yeah, we are talking about handbags. The company is called Sandra Cudavie. That's also the name of the woman who designs them. Celebrities like Celine Dion and Jessica Alba have these bags, and maybe you'll want one too. They're high style and high quality.
We get our leather from Colombia. It's Alta Gama leather, which is like the highest quality grade leather you can source.
Some even have a Pittsburgh touch. This one named for Kia Tomlin, wife of Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. Designing handbags is a dream come true for Sandra Cudavie.
I really do have to be inspired. I can't just say, today I'm gonna design.
She's been sketching purses for years and finally decided to create the real thing. She turned to artisans in her home country of Colombia to make the handbags. But it was during a trip to Hollywood when business took a drastic turn. Former E! News host Juliana Rancic spotted one of Sandra's creations.
I literally emptied it out and I gave it to her.
A picture posted on social media of Rancic with the bag changed things forever.
Within a 3-week period, 200 orders. I mean, it was just insane.
Celebrities like Brooke Burke and Jessica Alba now have bags. Bachelor winner Catherine Giudice is a big fan.
This is the one that Celine Dion requested in white.
Sandra gets a kick out of seeing her bags in magazines. Her business partner loves seeing Pittsburghers with the purses.
So if I'm walking down the street and I see somebody that I do not know carrying our handbag, somebody just in everyday life mode, I think that's what really gets me excited.
There's also jewelry, handmade pieces dipped in 24-karat gold. Tennis star Venus Williams is seen here wearing a pair of earrings. Both the bags and jewelry are sold at Kia Tomlin's store in East Liberty. She designs clothes and says Sandra's work is a perfect match.
They're so elegant and yet versatile, and it's a nice accessory to be able to show with the clothing.
I mentioned Sandra is from Colombia, and that's where all of the purses are made. Well, Sandra and Yuling make a real effort to find single women in need of work there. They pair those women with an artisan to teach them how to make these bags, so the women are also learning a skill.
The bags are gorgeous. How much do they cost?
They start at $295 and go up from there. The jewelry is less expensive, and you can buy everything either at the store in East Liberty or online.
Here's what I'm thinking. You know, they have the Kia. I think they need to have the Sarah and the Susan.
I agree.
Totally down with that.
It would sell. I really think so. Just saying.
We'll pitch it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Still to come.
Who would ever think I'd be blowing glass?
See what happens when a group of us from KDKA get in touch with our artistic side.
If it falls, let it go.
Plus, from baklava with a twist to signature seafood, Susan and I check out a new restaurant with a Greek influence.
Cheers. And after the break,
what do you guys call yourselves here?
Martians.
Mars 84, Glenn Campbell. We get to the bottom of some of our area's more unusual town names. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Your Pittsburgh, nominated for 2 Mid-Atlantic Emmy Awards.
Welcome back. Time now for the story that you voted for. We call this segment You Wanted to Know.
And this was an unusual situation. It was pretty much a tie. So last time we looked at the Pittsburgh tradition of cookie tables at weddings.
And tonight, the story that got the other half of the votes, unusual names for towns in our area.
84, Mars, SNPJ, how'd they get those names? Well, in some cases, there's an obvious answer. Other times, not so much.
Let's begin with the place that's also a number, 84. Where'd that come from?
There's so many stories, and there's these great stories about it too, about why it's called 84.
You have any guesses why it's called 84?
I have no idea. I thought it had something to do with 84 Lumber.
Many people think it was named after 84 Lumber, which is headquartered here. And some think the company got its name from the CEO's football days.
It was named after Joe Hardy, for the number that he wore when he played for the Green Bay Packers.
Wait a minute.
The problem is that Joe Hardy never played for the Green Bay Packers.
84 Lumber is actually named after the community. So where did 84 get its name? Well, it used to be called Smithville until they wanted a post office. Since there was already a Smithville on the other end of the state, the postmaster picked a new name. And the train that delivered the mail may have been the inspiration. The town happened to be stop 84 along the postal route.
So that's where it actually gets its name.
Now to Indiana County and a place called Glen Campbell.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
If the name makes you think of this Glen Campbell, here singing one of his big hits, you're not alone. He did visit once, but the borough isn't named after him. Turns out Glen is the Scottish word for valley. The Campbell was the last name of the head of a local coal company. Okay, time to go to Mars. No, not the planet. I'm talking about Mars, Butler County.
What do you guys call yourselves here?
Martians.
That's right, as in little green men and women. They even have a flying saucer in the middle of town. As for the name, let's go back in time.
Way back in the 1800s, the first settlement here was actually known as Overbrook. But then they ran into a problem.
There was another Overbrook in Pennsylvania. It was confusing.
So the thinking is the new name was to honor a local judge.
We figured it came from his name. It was Marshall, and they shortened it down to Mars.
But there's also a theory Marshall's wife suggested Mars because she loved astronomy. One thing's for sure, this historical marker that credits a star named Mars isn't quite right.
Back then, they weren't sure what a star was or a planet, and whoever did it just really kind of missed the boat.
Finally, to Lawrence County and another name that might catch your attention, SNPJ. The community's picturesque, but this time of year, only 14 people live here.
It's a lovely place.
Tim Jurgel's one of them.
Does it get a little lonely here over the winter?
It certainly does. I'm glad you guys came up.
Summer, though, is a whole different story. The place comes alive. People rent cabins, there's a festival. And as for the name, it's short for
Slovenska Narodna Podporna Jednota, which is the Slovene language version of Slovene National Benefit Society.
That's a group started more than 100 years ago to help immigrants coming from the country of Slovenia in Europe. The society built a rec center here in the 60s, and SNPJ eventually became a borough.
We're known as the smallest borough with the longest name.
Yeah, it's 31 letters. I counted them. Okay. So SNPJ is a lot shorter to say. It's a lot easier.
It kind of sounds like a law firm, just a little bit.
It's not.
Okay, now it's your turn to get involved. We want you to vote. Tell us what you want to know for our next show.
Do you want to know about Pittsburgh's only wooden street? That's right, it's actually made of wood.
Or do you want to know the story behind a Pittsburgh landmark? The iconic tower on the Carnegie Mellon campus has a history that might surprise you.
Let us know which one you want to know about. Go to kdka.com/yourpittsburgh and vote. Whichever story gets more votes, we'll have for you on our next show. Still to come on this show, from whiskey to rum, our area is seeing a boom in craft distilleries. We'll take you to one that's getting national attention.
You just ran out. I couldn't make enough.
That popular.
Yeah.
Plus, David and I are checking out the newest restaurant in a part of town that's becoming a dining destination.
But up next,
game on.
Things get competitive when KDKA goes to the Pittsburgh Glass Center.
I think mine's the best, hands down.
Mine actually might be the best.
See whose creation you like best. Stay with us.
You're watching Your Pittsburgh on KDKA TV.
If you are looking for something different to do, we have found it. There is a place in our area. You may not know about it, but you should.
You definitely should. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Glass Center. It's in the city's Friendship neighborhood, and they'll actually show you how to work with glass that is incredibly hot so you can create something unique.
So a group of us here at KDKA decided to give it a try, and not only did we have a blast, it also brought out our competitive spirit.
The experts experts at the Pittsburgh Glass Center make it look easy.
As close to center as we can get.
They shape 1800-degree glass into works of art. But what can we make? Our KDKA team is made up of Lynn Hayes Freeland, Rich Walsh, Kim Gable, and David and me.
It's gonna be a super crazy organic shape, just like that.
Oh, that is really cool.
Zach Lehue and John Sirachman give us instructions.
I'm gonna dab, kind of like we're putting sprinkles on a really hot ice cream cone.
Start blowing now?
Yep.
We have a chance to blow into a pipe to actually create a super thin glass bubble.
That's beautiful.
But this is just for practice and nothing we get to keep. Our main event is what you're about to see.
Is this a competition? I mean, I need to know that.
Well, it kind of turns into one. Lynn and David decide to create flowers made of glass, while Kim, Rich, and I are making paperweights.
We go in, we find the layer of glass.
Everything starts with clear glass from a 2,000-degree furnace.
Oh my gosh, it's like the sun.
Yeah.
The pipe it's on is immediately cooled, just so we can touch it.
Am I pinching in the same place?
Anywhere you want.
See, I'm starting to get nervous about it falling.
That's
Starting
all right.
to get nervous?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
If it falls, let it go.
The goal is to act fast, using tools to pull and mold the glass before it cools off and gets hard.
You made this look easy. This is a workout.
We add chips of glass for color.
I mean, just to watch the changes here within the last like 30 seconds, it's really incredible.
Oh, and what about that competition?
I'm hearing the professionals actually saying it too behind the scenes that mine actually might be the best.
Make sure I win.
I think it looks beautiful so far. Just saying.
I would be surprised if I didn't win.
Okay, time to unveil our finished products. Lynn's flower, Kim's paperweight, David's flower, Rich's paperweight, and finally my work of art, all originals that we created.
This was like chemistry and science and art like all mixed into one.
I thought it was a great experience. I would definitely come back with my kids.
Who would ever think I'd be blowing glass? But now I'm officially a glass blower.
We definitely had a lot of fun. And if you want to get a closer look at our creations, go to kdka.com/yourpittsburgh, and we have some photos for you to check out.
Also, because we're just a little bit competitive, you can actually vote on who's turned out the best. It's mine. It's mine.
All right, so what's really cool about the Glass Center is these Make It Now events where for $35 you can create something just like we did. They also have workshops that are more in-depth.
They even host events there. Like, people have their bachelorette parties there. Just a very cool place. And what was kind of alarming, Susan actually wanted to touch the molten glass as we were making it.
I didn't necessarily want to touch it, but I was very afraid that I was going to touch it because it's what, 2,000 degrees?
It's really hot.
Very hot. You should not touch the glass as it's coming out of the oven, but you're kind of tempted to reach in there.
They keep you from doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, award-winning local rum, a popular new hotel in town, and get your pizza your way and fast.
Just some of what's happening as we check out what's new in the Berg.
Blaze Fast Fired Pizza is heading here. The growing chain is looking to open in Monroeville, Robinson, Cranberry, and the East End. Pizzas are made in front of you as you pick ingredients and baked in a super hot oven.
From super hot to super cool, Pittsburgh now has an Ace Hotel. It's in the old YMCA building in East Liberty after a multi-million-dollar renovation. Ace Hotel started in Portland and then spread to New York, Seattle, Palm Springs, and London.
Speaking of East Liberty, the original BRGR location is moving to a bigger space. Later this year, they'll begin serving their gourmet burgers and shakes just around the corner in the Penn Highland building.
Work's underway in Lawrenceville to build 182 luxury apartments on a former industrial site. The Foundry at 41st will have a swimming pool and rooftop terrace. It'll also keep this old steel frame as a community space to host concerts and food trucks. The mayor calls it industrial chic.
Spool in Allentown isn't your mother's fabric store. The two local women who own it call it a modern sewing space. They rent sewing machines by the hour, teach classes, and even hold BYOB events.
Finally, Maggie's Farm Rum Distillery in the Strip. The award-winning rum maker just landed in Wine Spectator magazine. Everything is made on site and demand keeps growing.
We're open Wednesday through Sunday, and we always have bottle sales and samplings during those times, and specifically on the weekend. So Friday evening and all day Saturday, we have the cocktail bar open.
By the way, it's called Maggie's Farm Rum. But there is no Maggie. Tim named it after an old Bob Dylan song.
And you can buy the rum in the Strip or at some state stores. More information at kdka.com/yourpittsburgh. Still to come, it's time to eat.
Susan and I are checking out another restaurant. It's the newest option if you're headed to Market Square. Stay with us.
Stand by to roll the bumper, stand by to go to break, and fade.
Contact us on Facebook or Twitter. We want to know what you want to see. After all, our show is called
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh.
Your Pittsburgh. Welcome back, everyone. This is when we visit a cool new restaurant, and tonight it's the latest addition to Market Square.
The square has transformed over the years. It really has become a destination spot, and the name of this restaurant is also a destination. It is called Poros, named after some Greek islands.
Poros is a modern space with a beautiful bar and a bustling open kitchen. David and I get started with a Greek favorite, baklava. Only figs and duck transform it into a savory appetizer. Wow! But not everything here is Greek.
We're Greek inspired, and it's probably 50% Greek, but we also pull from flavors around the Aegean Sea and really the greater Mediterranean.
Our next choice is from the Middle East, baba ganoush, a spread made from eggplant, which is delicious, and maybe too much fun to say.
How many times can we say baba ganoush?
I never knew I liked baba ganoush so much.
I like the baba ganoush with the pomegranate.
Baba ganoush.
Okay, moving on to the main course. This place prides itself in its seafood, so we ordered a whole fish, black sea bass with a yogurt sauce.
I've never had a whole fish before. This is adventurous. I love it.
It did not disappoint. Neither did the lamb shank with butternut squash or the slow-cooked short rib tagine.
I'm happy with all three.
We end the meal with a decadent, flourless chocolate torte, and David and I reach a conclusion.
If this is what Greece is about, we should go to Greece.
When are we booking our ticket? You in charge of booking the flights?
I'm on it.
Poros is owned by the Big Y Restaurant Group, which also owns Nola, Ceviche, and Sonoma Grill downtown.
All great restaurants. And we have more info for you at kdka.com/yourpittsburgh. And that's going to do it for this episode of Your Pittsburgh. From all of us here, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Dissolve, stand by to fade to black in 3, 2, 1, and fade. We're clear. Have a great night, everybody.